You're always looking for the next thing, the ultimate truth, the grand answer to life's great mysteries. But what if this pursuit, this endless seeking, is not the path to true understanding, but a merry-go-round that leads you right back to where you started? Consider the nature of seeking. It implies a lack. To be a finder, then, is to change the nature of your search. It becomes less about acquiring something new, and more about recognizing what is already there. It's about seeing through the illusions, the stories, the constructs that keep us in the role of seekers. This seeing is not just intellectual, it's experiential. It's a living, breathing realization that permeates every aspect of your life. In the journey of life, how we perceive the world around us determines the richness of our experience. Alan Watts, with the phrase "nothing you see is not you," reminds us that our external environment, no matter how distant or separate it may seem, is intimately connected to our innermost being. Introducing the focal point of our exploration, the idea of being a finder, rather than a seeker, leads to a profound shift in perspective, inviting us to delve into existence with an attitude of discovery and appreciation. This shift, while seemingly subtle, holds the key to unraveling the mysteries and nuances of life, enabling us to discard the veils of illusion and recognize the profound interconnectedness of all things. Understanding the essence of this perspective shift will not only lead to a more peaceful and fulfilled life, but it will also enrich our understanding of existence and its intrinsic purpose. Life consists in what a man is thinking all day. Ralph Waldo Emerson. The seeker's mindset often engenders a sense of restlessness, a continuous yearning for something more. Driven by a desire to acquire, accomplish, and achieve, seekers can become trapped in a perpetual cycle of dissatisfaction. This mindset, rooted in the belief that fulfillment lies in the future, perpetuates a state of inner turmoil. Seeking, in essence, is the relentless pursuit of external validation and targets, trivializing the present and appreciating the fulfillment of one's own existence. As a result, life becomes a march, driven by a fleet of desires and targets, with varying degrees of attainability in the long run. The seeker's dilemma is characterized by the hunt for something elusive, often overlooking the beauty and abundance that surround us at the present moment. Contrary to the common perspective, the wisdom of life lies not in the incessant chase towards the horizon, but in the deeps of the ocean of existence right now. This mindset hinders the seeker from recognizing the profound wealth of life that is immediately available. It may be likened to a person who, in the pursuit of treasure, inadvertently overlooks a wealth of gems strewn at their feet. The treasure being chased is ideals, perceptions, and achievements that promise fulfillment yet often fail to deliver. Seeking, therefore, is anchored in the notion that joy, contentment, and gratification can be found in the material world or in the accomplishment of numerous targets set by the ego, only to discover that no amount of external attainment can fulfill the insatiable hunger inherent in a seeker's heart. Another aspect of the seeker's dilemma is the cyclical pattern of seeking and dissatisfaction. When driven by a relentless inclination to constantly seek, one becomes ensnared in a self-perpetuating loop where the proposed end goal, be it wealth, relationships, or specific achievements, fades into the distance once it is attained. It is this pursuit of the unattainable that can become the motor driving the daily experience towards illusionary causes. Our external world, when viewed through the lens of seeking, appears as an unending race, allowing little time for contemplation, reflection, and appreciation of the present. This perpetual seeking behavior can result in a desensitization to the simple yet profound joys of life that are always within our reach. The seeker unwittingly sacrifices the now in favor of the elusive later. Find ecstasy in life. The mere sense of living is joy enough. Emily Dickinson. At its core, the concept of being a finder is grounded in the idea of discovering what is already present, embracing the richness and complexity of life as it unfolds in the present moment. When we relinquish the compulsion to constantly seek beyond our immediate experience, we open ourselves to the profound insight that the true essence of our existence already surrounds us. Finding is an active process, not an aimless wandering. It is the deliberate exploration of one's inner world and immediate surroundings, seeking to discern the untold stories, the hidden meanings, and the unspoken truths that often escape the notice of a distracted mind. In contrast to the seeker, the essence of finding is recognizing that life's profound treasures are not distant or shrouded in uncertainty. They are often hidden in plain sight. Those who aspire to become skilled finders understand that the art of finding is akin to illuminating the mundane, unveiling layers of depth in the seemingly commonplace. This pursuit is not born from a sense of lack or yearning, but from a deep appreciation of the present moment and an unwavering curiosity for the intricacies of life. Within the realm of finding, the wisdom that is unveiled rests on the foundation of presence and acceptance. Presence is the cornerstone of this exploration, ensuring that one is not merely physically present in a given moment, but also fully attuned to the richness of the experience. It involves the suspension of constant rumination about the past and future, freeing the mind from the shackles of regret and anticipation. Practicing presence implies a conscious decision to remove the tinted glasses of expectation and judgment, allowing situations, people, and even oneself to be perceived with an untarnished lens. On the other hand, acceptance is the companion that paves the way for tranquility. It doesn't suggest resignation or indifference, but rather a profound acknowledgement of what is. When one embraces acceptance, they liberate themselves from the burden of yearning for a reality that could have been. By wholeheartedly welcoming the present, with all its imperfections and intricacies, individuals find that the weight of unmet expectations is alleviated, allowing a greater capacity for joy and contentment to emerge. In the realm of finding, the convergence of presence and acceptance forms the threshold upon which a profound and enduring sense of ease can be found. These two qualities, when cultivated, can transform the way one navigates through the tapestry of life, bringing a sense of peace and satisfaction, even in the face of challenges. To truly appreciate the depth of wisdom in the art of finding, it is best understood through the lens of storytelling. Storytelling, in various forms, has been a defining trait of human culture for centuries. Much like individuals who commit themselves to being skilled finders, storytellers embark on a journey to discover, preserve, and convey significant moments, emotions, and insights from the human experience. By skillfully immersing themselves in their surroundings and within their characters, adept storytellers can unravel profound truths that might otherwise remain concealed. With this lens in mind, it becomes clear that the act of storytelling, when undertaken with sincerity and artistry, mirrors the essence of what it means to be a finder in one's own life. Just as storytellers seek to uncover the narratives that encapsulate the essence of their characters and settings, finders commit themselves to uncovering the intrinsic beauty and hidden significance in every moment, interaction, and aspect of life. It's not about constructing fiction, but about discerning the authentic storylines that underscore the everyday occurrences of existence. By embracing the philosophy of finding, individuals can enrich their own personal narratives, infusing their lives with intrigue, insight, and a sense of purpose that transcends the boundaries of mere existence. This way of life elevates the significance of the mundane, transforming each moment into a potential source of wonder, reflection, and tranquility. We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. Within the seeker's mindset, a pervasive illusion of separation often takes root. This separation, though deceptive, holds a considerable influence, driving individuals to perceive themselves as distinct entities detached from the world around them. In this paradigm, an artificial division is erected, casting desires, dreams, and aspirations as external entities to be pursued or acquired. Whether the yearning is for material wealth, emotional fulfillment, or personal success, the seeker often perceives these as distant, separate from their very core. This perception exacerbates the relentless pursuit of external goals, as the individual's essence appears to reside in the future rather than the present. The focus on differentiation results in identification with an imagined self that is distinct from the totality of existence. The seeker becomes fixated on what they believe they lack, creating a self-perpetuating cycle of desire and dissatisfaction. In stark contrast to the illusion of separation perpetuated by the seeker's mentality, the philosophy of interconnectedness and oneness emerges as a fundamental tenet of finding. This philosophy emphasizes that the capacity to find joy and contentment is not derived from external acquisitions, but from the recognition of our inherent connection to the world and everything within it. As the notion implies, embracing oneness invites individuals to dissolve the perceived barriers that segregate them from their desires and from the universe at large. This recognition emboldens one to see themselves not as distinct and isolated, but as integral components of the grand tapestry of existence. Within the paradigm of interconnectedness, the pursuit of happiness is reframed. It is no longer synonymous with amassing external possessions or conquering external challenges, but rather with aligning one's inner state with the harmonious rhythms of the universe. When we comprehend that happiness and wholeness are not commodities acquired through transaction, but an intrinsic element permeating the cosmos, the oscillation between want and contentment comes to an end. Seeing as finding, in essence, serves as a powerful antidote to the fabricated separation that plagues the seeker's existence. By actively occupying the role of the finder, an individual becomes immersed in moments of experience, from the most mundane to the most remarkable. They come into contact with people, places, and circumstances, recognizing the intricate and unbreakable bonds that weave together the fabric of the universe. When one operates from a perspective of finding as opposed to seeking, the need for constant external validation diminishes. The concept of finding is rooted in the discovery of one's joy, contentment, and fulfillment internally, rather than incessantly searching for external circumstances or possessions that constantly evade us. Realize deeply that the present moment is all you have. Make the now the primary focus of your life. Eckhart Tolle. In the journey towards becoming a skilled finder, the cultivation of presence emerges as a foundational pillar. Presence, in its essence, is the art of being fully aware and engaged in the current moment, with an uncluttered mind and an open heart. When we are present, we bring our undivided attention to the here and now, relinquishing the burden of past regrets and future anxieties. Regarded by many spiritual traditions as the key to inner peace and self-realization, the practice of presence encompasses a range of techniques and mindsets. These include mindfulness, deep breathing, meditation, and the art of truly listening. The mind, when anchored in the present, becomes a powerful instrument for understanding, compassion, and heightened awareness. It enables us to perceive life not as a series of disconnected incidents, but as a seamless and interwoven tapestry of experience. Moreover, the incessant chatter of the mind, which often leads to discontent and restlessness, is subdued in the realm of presence. When the mind is no longer preoccupied with judgment and comparison, true enjoyment of life's simplest pleasures, from the rustling of leaves to the laughter of a child, becomes possible. In the realm of presence, finding joy takes on a new dimension, as the individual no longer requires grand achievements or external validations to experience happiness. They find it in the serenity of the here and now, anchoring themselves in the richness of the present moment. The incorporation of presence into one's daily life is not merely a passive endeavor. It is an active commitment to nurturing a mindset and environment conducive to the practice of being present. To engage existence with openness and curiosity, we must ground our minds in the present and our spirits in our surroundings. Techniques such as deep breathing or meditation can be instrumental in transitioning from a state of mental chaos to one of calm awareness. Find signature moments such as sunrise, sunset, starry sky, and seek to absorb the entire moment, no matter how fleeting. Tune into the symphony of sound and silence, the miracle of light and shadow, and the dance of existence. In this way, you learn to savor the beauty of experience rather than dwell on the ephemeral nature of human concept. By purposefully reorienting your thoughts and attention to the here and now, you build the foundation for a life guided by presence, where joy, fulfillment, and insight are found in the raw and unfiltered elements of existence. The cultivation of presence offers numerous benefits, each contributing to a more profound and fulfilling experience of life. One of its primary advantages is the restoration of inner tranquility and contentment. By training the mind to remain undisturbed by the ceaseless waves of thought, presence serves as a shield against the anxieties and restlessness that can plague a seeker's existence. The constant mental pursuit of external desires or the rumination over past regrets dissipates when the focus is redirected to the intricacies of the present moment. In doing so, one fosters a greater sense of calm and emotional balance. Additionally, the practice of presence enhances our connection to the external world, creating a heightened awareness of the people, places, and phenomena that populate our daily lives. Through the lens of presence, life is no longer a series of hurried or shallow interactions, but a tapestry of genuine connections and profound relationships. Being present allows us to engage more deeply with others, to truly listen and appreciate the unique qualities of every person we encounter. As a result, isolation and detachment, common companions of the seeker mindset, are gradually dissolved. Furthermore, the art of presence encourages the cultivation of a non-judgmental and accepting attitude towards oneself and the world. When one is immersed in the now, there is no room for harsh self-criticism or constant evaluation of others. This shift in perspective leads to a greater sense of self-compassion and a more positive outlook. In the seeker's paradigm, happiness often hinges on external achievements or comparisons with others. But in the realm of presence, joy emerges spontaneously from the act of unfolding existence with a receptive mind and an open heart. Consequently, the seeker's constant restlessness abates as they discover that true peace and contentment can be found by simply being fully engaged in the present. The ego is a veil between humans and God. Rumi. Within the seeker's journey, the ego plays a significant role as the driving force behind desires and attachments. The ego, often misunderstood as the core self, presents a distorted and exaggerated image of our true essence to the world. At its core, the ego operates on the premise of separation and individualism, constantly striving to assert its existence and secure its place in the external world. This relentless pursuit culminates in an insatiable craving for validation, success, and possession. Moreover, the boundaries drawn by the ego delineate an artificial separation between oneself and the totality of existence, as well as among individuals. This perception reinforces the illusion of a fragmented world, where desires appear as distant entities to be grasped, and fulfillment seems contingent upon external acquisitions. In the realm of the ego, happiness and contentment are too often tethered to transient outside factors, perpetuating a cycle of desire and discontent. By identifying with the ego as the primary orchestrator of their lives, seekers become susceptible to the turbulence of ever-changing desires and elusive goals. The transition from being a seeker to a finder necessitates a profound process: the dissolution and surrender of the egoic self. Ego observation emerged as one of the most potent techniques to disempower the ego. The ego is the force that drives individuals to continuously seek validation and satisfaction outside themselves. It disrupts the harmony between internal desires and external realities, often resulting in unfulfilled yearnings and discontentment. The first step towards liberating oneself from the ego's grip is to become a silent witness to its operations. By observing the ego's patterns, desires, and reactions without judgment, individuals gain insight into the insidious role the ego plays in governing their lives. Instead of identifying with the ego's incessant chatter, they learn to see it as an external force, a remnant from their past. Moreover, owning up to one's past mistakes, letting go of emotional attachments stemming from them, and striving to truly live in the present moment, and paving the way for a new beginning is also crucial. Disentangling oneself from the ego's agenda allows for a more genuine and harmonious existence. However, it's not enough to simply observe the ego. Surrender is the seed of freedom, the escape from the confining limits of egoic desire. By relinquishing the need to control outcomes and to consistently enforce the ego's perspective on themselves and others, individuals can transcend the ego's illusory promises of fulfillment. Instead of resisting life or being driven by fear and desire, one surrenders to the natural flow of existence, recognizing that the present moment carries within it the essence of contentment. In this state of surrender, the ego loses its hold, and a newfound sense of inner peace and perspective emerges, pointing the way to a more authentic and harmonious way of being. In the spiritual journey from seeking to finding, meditative practices are vital tools for releasing the ego's grip and achieving inner transformation. Meditation, particularly centering on the breath, represents a process of gradual release from the ego's attachments. It allows individuals to cultivate the skill of observing their thoughts and feelings without being overtaken by them. As they quiet the mind and focus inward, they reduce the overriding force of the ego and its insatiable desires. By persistently practicing meditation and reaching a state of deep relaxation, the ego slowly loses its stronghold on individuals. In conjunction with breath-centered meditation, the practice of mindfulness in daily life further solidifies one's ability to let go of the ego's demand. By attentively and non-judgmentally observing their thoughts, emotions, and external experiences, individuals cultivate a deeper sense of self-awareness. Mindfulness translates to the ability to witness the ego at play, recognize its influence, and make conscious decisions that transcend its individualistic perspective. By consistently questioning and challenging the dominance of the ego over their consciousness, individuals begin to dismantle the barriers and illusions erected by the ego. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. Seneca. The true essence of finding extends beyond mere external discoveries. It is an inner journey, a path towards uncovering the treasures of one's own being. Within each person, a wellspring of joy, contentment, and fulfillment awaits. This wellspring, however, often lies dormant, overshadowed by the ceaseless demands and desires of the ego. Recognizing this inherent richness is a pivotal aspect of the transition from seeking to finding. By learning to appreciate and nourish the profound qualities present within oneself, reliance on external validation and acquisitions diminishes. It is the act of self-discovery itself that often becomes the most transformative. Identifying, embracing, and nurturing one's authentic self is a process that leads to a new way of experiencing life. This transformation is not hinged upon acquiring more or reaching new heights in the external world, but on an internal paradigm shift. Fulfillment comes from within, from the depths of one's being, and the recognition that the very act of living and finding joy in the moment is enough to attain true contentment. As individuals become adept at finding joy within, the distinction between happiness and pleasure becomes stark. Pleasure is fleeting, reliant on external stimulations, relationships, and possessions. On the other hand, happiness comprises a deeper, more enduring state of well-being. By focusing on the present moment and nurturing an inner state of contentment, the dichotomy between pleasure-seeking and genuine happiness dissipates. The process of finding joy within ultimately entails embracing life unconditionally. Recognizing that happiness is birthed through the practice of finding doesn't entail neglecting the external world. Rather, it demands an immersion into existence with heightened awareness and an open heart. By engaging with life as it unfolds, individuals find themselves enriched, often beyond measure, by the ordinary and the extraordinary alike. The transition from being a seeker to becoming a skilled finder can bring about profound changes in one's life. By recognizing the never-ending cycle of seeking and dissatisfaction, we can begin to realize that true contentment lies in finding joy in the present moment, accepting what is, and understanding that the path to enlightenment also often involves patience and perseverance. We can overcome the ego, align with our cosmic purpose, and learn how to live with inner purpose. Such a shift in perspective can lead to a more peaceful, contented, and fulfilled life, as well as a deeper understanding of the purpose and interconnectedness of all things. So, be a finder, not a seeker.